You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Mina.
Hey everyone, it is the center of attention, Brittany Brooks, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Come on over, Simply. I'm being see, earlier I said something stupid to him, and now this is my receipt. Okay.
Sabu's just sabotaging you.
Yeah. He sure did.
Hijacking.
Yeah, he's taking over.
Hijacking is a better word. You're right.
Good luck.
Shout out to Simply Reliable Studios making their Symphony debut, sponsoring this match and the entire Dragon Kai demonstration.
Heyo, this is Jack Cartwheel. You are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Noah. I believe in Datula. The Meltzer of the multiverse. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man.
We just want to say thank you to Simply Reliable Studios for voting us as Tag Team of the Year.
Of course.
Because you know what they say, right? If you can't swim, you're bound to drown.
Tonight, she is sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios from Orlando, Florida. She is everybody's favorite BFF, Izzy Marino.
Nerds and geeks at heart, and I look at your style. You look like somebody that would regularly shop at one of my favorite stores, not called Hot Topic, but Spencer's. I'm a fan of novelty lights.
You mentioned Hot Topic. It comes as no surprise to anyone that I was a manager at Hot Topic for years before I started wrestling.
What's in your AirPods? You know, what are you listening to? Whether it's at the gym working out or when you're in the jacuzzi relaxing, like what are you bumping?
So I tell everybody all the time, I love listening to strip club bangers.
I find it weird that you guys are so excited about seeing the cup. For us, it lives here, so it's just like
you just go down the street.
I just go to the Hockey Hall of Fame and just go take a peek, take a gander of it.
No, but they had
it lives there, but it's not like you guys have won it in how many years.
Take a look at
Why? But why? But why do we have to go there?
Quintanilla. Is that your birth last name or is that a gimmick name?
That is not my birth last name. Alejandra is my actual name. Quintanilla, I'm also, I love music. I'm always listening to music. I'm always dancing. And I've always been inspired by the late Selena Quintanilla. That's where I got the Quintanilla last name from.
I'm the referee and the coach, and I'm like, you stupid idiots, and I'm constantly yelling at the TV.
That is Jeff every single week during football season. Since the mid-90s, he's a Cowboys fan.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is every week.
It
ain't changing anytime soon, buddy. Is it your year again?
I know it's coming. God damn it.
It's always your year.
Gymnasts and cheerleaders have like eternal beef with each other.
Yes, they do. Yo, no, that beef is real. I know.
Remember you saying that you're a huge Disney and Harry Potter geek?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
Hercules, hands down. I grew up watching that.
Yes.
Like, it's the best Disney movie. I will fight anyone who tells me otherwise.
So I got into AW, I was less than a year in.
Okay.
I was maybe like 15 matches in. And so at some point I was wrestling more in AW than I like did on the indies. And so I was like, okay, I'm going against these top names and I've proven I can hang with every single one of them, so I am top tier. That's how it all came about.
Heyo, this is Jack Cartwheel. You are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Get it? Got it.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the moderated insanity that is known as the Shenanigans. It is I, your moderator extraordinaire, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams, but I am not alone. I am being joined by one half of the Canadian Army, the Canadian Connection. Referee Nick is here.
Yeah. Referee Nick is here, and let's get nasty. Just get nasty.
I'm ready to get nasty, but we have not had our guest arrive as of yet. So
Worst guy ever.
Waiting for him to see the link. You know,
Sure
this is the thing that comes with an independent pro wrestler. Okay, I mean, it's Thursday. It's right before the weekend loop. We know there's shows booked for the weekend. We may or may not be able to cover some of them, like advertised. The one he was supposed to be advertised on, he's unable to go to due to transportation issues, unfortunately. So shit happens.
No way, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's shitty.
Well, it's not anybody specifically's fault. It just doesn't have a way to get there, so.
Terrible.
But we're waiting for Nasty Leroy to get here. Nasty Leroy, just to kind of give everybody a little bit of a backstory here. Nasty Leroy is a guy that we here from the Simply Reliable Studios met in the spaces on X probably about a year and some change ago.
Mm-hmm.
Always popping into the spaces, whether it was Tribalism Free Zone, whether it was Rock and Ropes, whether it was Wrestle Collective, whether it was some random space we happen to be in. He just loves talking about professional wrestling as an independent wrestler. And we met him in the spaces. We got to know him. And so when we started doing interviews, it was like, well, who can we book next? Who can we book next? And we always kind of had Leroy in the back pocket there because we knew he'd be down and we wanted to get more of his story because amongst the things that we're going to get him to talk about today, he trained at the Nightmare Factory with Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall. So there's a lot to get into and unpack right there. But Poder Mania, that ball was rolling. WrestleMania week, that ball was rolling, getting all the people that were going to be booked on shows Mania week. And Leroy just wasn't going to be on any of those. So it was like, all right, well, let's keep tucked in the back pocket, almost in case of an emergency break glass type of thing. Like, we know we've got this dude because we're cool with him, right? So then GCW announced the Backyard Wrestling Show, and he was on the poster for it, the flyer. It's like, dude, now is as good a time as any. He's being advertised, promoted on the poster for Game Changer Wrestling, which is a company that we are firmly behind. Obviously, you see all the coverage we give GCW. Joey Janela Spring Break 9 won pay-per-view PLE of the year last year. Busta and the Brain got tag team of the year. A lot of love to GCW, right?
Yeah.
Hell, me and Walter were in a space about a month ago being hosted by Brett Lauderdale and getting to talk to and interact with Brett in an X space. So it just made sense. Like, this is the time to do it.
Yep.
So the anticipation has been there to talk to Leroy for a minute because now, a year and some change later, it's not as much interviewing an independent pro wrestler as it is getting to talk to a buddy because he's an acquaintance that we've made through the spaces on X. It's like when we had Gino Rivera come on during the old open mic night days, and I know that was before your time, Nick, but Gino Rivera is a guy that Jeff and I saw training at the Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy in SoCal 15 years ago. Came onto the thing, gave us almost 3 hours of his time after a show, driving with his students in the car. We had Sam Knight last year, who another guy me and Jeff had known for like 15 years, ahead of his final match, in an era where John Cena's retiring, Goldberg's retiring, AJ Styles is retiring. Here's a dude that we knew. hanging up his boots as well and talking to him about his final match. So now Leroy coming on here is kind of akin to that. It's a dude we've known for a year and a half, getting to talk to him and get more in depth with his story.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah. And I do know he has seen the message. I just clicked over, so it shows that he's seen. So hopefully he's not going to leave me on red, and he'll be popping in here momentarily, you know. Already got 30 plus people watching us right now. Shout out to you guys. Love the fact that y'all are tuning in early, ready to check out this guy's story. Nick, what are you looking forward to most about talking to Leroy here today?
Oh my goodness.
Like, is there one facet of his career that you're really looking forward to getting into, other than, of course, your signature question about a pre-match, post-match meal? Like,
listen, you know what? Some of our guests have been ready for it. I'm quite impressed.
Well, I think that's partially due to the fact that there's another podcaster that asks people their Waffle House order.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't mean. Listen, I don't want to hear people being all like, "Nick, you're such a biter." Malcolm does it first. We know Malcolm does it first. Malcolm does the Waffle House.
And Malcolm is specific. He wants to know a specific thing. And with that being said, the man of the hour is here. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get nasty. Here is Nasty Leroy.
Shit! Oh shit! We're about to get nasty.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, bro?
You know, just I was literally getting off of business call with somebody else. Sorry I'm late, but you know.
No,
you gotta make that money though. You gotta make that money though.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it gave Nick and I an opportunity to kind of catch the fans up about how we kind of came to know you, you know, through the spaces on X and everything, and give a little bit of backstory. Because if we had done this interview, you know, a year and some change ago when we first met you in the spaces, it would have been some wrestling podcasters interviewing an independent wrestler. And while it still technically is that, we've gotten to know you over the last year plus, so now it's like some buddies getting together to talk. You know what I mean? It's like, so just giving the people a backstory as to how we came to get to know you and everything. So don't even trip about showing up late, bro. Game recognized game, and you got to make that money, right? So
yeah, you know, some potential big stuff on the way, you know.
Cool. Nick will be right back. He has a thing where when people pop into the stream, it jacks up his audio, so he's got to drop, come back. He'll be right back.
Okay.
We go through this all the time with him. We like to joke it's his Canadian internet connection. So you know.
Canadian internet connection.
It's the Canadian Wi-Fi up here. You can't help it.
Damn, let's start on trees, man. Where you at, probably? You know.
The maple syrup getting into the Fios lines and shit, bro.
Listen, I can't confirm nor deny where maple syrup has been. You know, you know.
So, all right, Leroy, let's get into this, man. So the first thing that we always like to ask everybody is, how did you discover professional wrestling? What made you fall in love with it as a fan, as a little Leroy?
As little Nasty Leroy. All right, I want to see if I give you the real answer or the troll answer.
Give me the real answer, man. We're trying to get to know the man behind the character, bro. Peel that curtain back just a little bit.
Okay. I'll give you the most honest answer I gave everybody. It's the truest answer. I can't ever. I found professional wrestling around, I think it was around like 97, 98, probably, give or take. I know that when my first, and people may think this is just, I'm saying this because I've always been anti, WWE or whatever. I found professional wrestling because of ECW. I was a kid that grew up in a group home. I don't know my actual biological parents. I know like my cousins and I have brothers and stuff. Ancestry.com and all that. But growing up in Philadelphia, I grew up in a group home. I grew up with a lot of kids that I was, we was close, but we wasn't super close. But we fought for the TV every day, and like I never. So the whole thing is when you grew up in the '90s, you probably love wrestling and you probably love the Attitude Era. I really didn't like WWF wrestling at the time, but actually when I peeked into it, I think the only match that I went to live was like early Stone Cold when he was racing Savio Vega. That's all match I remember off the top of my head, but I wasn't like really curious to know about it. So I always say like I found wrestling during a commercial. So when ECW had a commercial, they had I remember like it was yesterday. It was like come see the most extreme underground wrestling, Renegade Wrestling, known to man, Extreme Championship Wrestling. And ever since then I was so intrigued to know what this, underground organization was and what they was promoting it as and stuff like that. So I got to go. So I got to get my Guardians to take me to. Well, the Guardians. They took me to a show, but the bus had broke down. Then we went on a train, and to the biggest of the little kids, we went to the ECW arena. And I was probably like the youngest kid. The oldest kid was probably like 15. It was probably like it probably was. It was the best experience at the time because I had never seen anything like this.
How old did you think that you were at the time?
I would go with 8, but I can't say it. I would probably say 8, 9, around that area.
Okay.
Maybe 10 if I had to. So yeah, that whole thing. I remember Bully Ray coming up to Bubba Ray at the time was coming up to me and it was like, he was pushing everybody and he was like talking shit to everybody. And like, some kids grew up with their parents and they can't cuss and everything like that, right? I didn't have that problem, so they let me cuss all the time. So like to me, it's nothing to me to cuss. So I try to like when I'm at family friendlies to keep it at a, I gotten better. So I said to Bubba Ray at the time because he was messing with my friend at the time, Don Trey. I said, fuck you, Bully Ray, and stuff. Even back then, I was ready to crash out and fight somebody over my peoples. So yeah, the whole organization, I just liked it. I wasn't a fan, but I liked it. I liked that I thought it was cooler than what it was on TV. Years later, I know it's a long ass explanation. Years later, I get adopted by my current family I live with, or not live with, but I'm a part of. And my brothers, Jonathan and Theron, was big Stone Cold, big The Rock fans. They like all the other guys on WWE and stuff, and like I couldn't turn away from it basically. So it's like early 2000s. I had to be like 15 probably. And my every time Stone Cold came out there, my brother made me hate Stone Cold. And basically I just rebelled. Anything my brothers liked, I didn't like. So I would watch it just to spite of them of liking different people.
Did you turn the light on in the living room?
So, um, it's a it's a thing. It's a thing where so if my brother would be liking The Rock and both of my brothers, they like all the main event guys, right? So I usually would like the Intercontinental title guys or whatever. So, your Jericho's, your Billy Guns and all that kinds of stuff. So, I like the Road Dogg and all that, which is funny now because Billy Gunn's my coach, and I troll him all the time about how I'm a NWO guy. I don't really like DX. I get my ass whooped for it, but so I went to my uncle's house, and I was watching like WWE because that's what I knew at the time, and I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like it, so it was on. I watched it. And I went to my first independent show. It was Ring of Honor Chicago Reds. It was Jimmy Jacobs and it was Jay Briscoe, and Agent Fall debuted, and that was the moment. I think I could say hanging up when he was hanging up on the ceiling, and then because the Agent Fall promo, and I was like, oh, I like this. It wasn't just that; it was also like Homicide and like the whole Ring of Honor presentation, and I was like, oh, I like this. Matter of fact, no, it came to I liked wrestling, but I love this. I actually love Ring of Honor. So that and going to AAW shows, and it was a fun time with my friend Stevie and my uncle and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, me and my uncle used to go to like Shimmer shows every time I'm in the Chicagoland area. Every time we go to up the Burlington Eagle Club, he knew the guy who owned the building, so he would like, yeah, I know the guy who owns the building. We can just go up there. So we go in there, he get discounted tickets and stuff. And he would tell the promoter to give me discounted tickets, and we watch Shimmer and stuff. He used to mess with me and him all the time about like, all different kinds of funny jokes, and me and Ian want to almost kick his ass all the time, but he liked Shimmer and stuff. So I ended up liking professional wrestling because of like the other stuff, and then like old school. I hate to even compare this about me and that rat bastard MJF, but just like MJF, I liked old school wrestling. I actually loved it more than I liked the current stuff. And I think that's the only similarities I will only give that rat. That I liked. Oh, I never seen Flair. I never seen Dusty. I never seen like the territories, and I thought this was like the whole nother world that I just like. My uncle just put me on. Like, of course, and if anybody watches me, that's like you see Homicide, you can see Cole Cabana in my style because I know his fucking style, and you can definitely see Dusty Rhodes because like people that caught my attention, Flair, of course. So yeah, I just like the alternative. I always thought like independent wrestling like it was like very interesting, and it was very like another world. And that's what made me want to be a wrestler. Like maybe want to go to like different places like they went and shit. So.
Listen, you're totally better than MJF. Don't worry, buddy.
Yeah,
MJF got nothing on you, dude.
We're going to get into the rat bastard stuff in a little bit because I know I didn't told you that when we talked about it previously. Like we've got to get into the rat bastard list, but we'll put a pin in that for now. But I think it's interesting though that your story, basically, you got into professional wrestling through the independent market. You saw the mainstream stuff, but you didn't really care for it that much. It was ECW, it was ROH, it was Shimmer, AAW, you said. It was the underground stuff that really kind of captivated your attention. I think you're the first person we've talked to who said that they really kind of got captivated by the independent scene and wanted to become a wrestler because of that. Everyone's always saying, oh, it's The Rock, it's Stone Cold, it's Goldberg, it's Hogan, it's Warrior, it's Rock Hogan at WrestleMania, and just those opening moments of staring at each other and turning and looking at the crowd and the way they held the whole audience in the palm of their hands, or it's stuff like that that we always hear made people want to be a wrestler. So just the fact that your story comes from the independent scene, I think is very interesting.
Yeah, I would say that.
Who would you say on the independent scene, and it's okay if the fans don't know some of the names you throw out here, as the AEW fans like to say, that's what Google's for, right? So who are some of the independent wrestlers that you saw when you were getting into it that really were the ones to kind of captivate you?
It was Homicide at first, because like that whole, they talk about aura and stuff, but the true definition of aura started for me. It was Homicide, and I don't think people understand. Like, some people do if you watch his TNA stuff, but like he had already been like established to me, because I was watching him on Ring of Honor and stuff. But like, Samoa Joe was already gone when I started watching. He was on TNA, and but I knew about Samoa Joe because I watched old DVDs on Ring of Honor about Samoa Joe. So it wasn't like I would buy. My uncle wasn't super rich, but he had money. So like he would let me just every event he knew that I liked more than the t-shirts, more than anything. I would get an 8x10, and I would get a DVD, and he would let me get a DVD almost every time we went to Ring of Honor and AAW and Shimmer stuff. He would be like he would be like if Mia Yim wasn't on the show, which he really loved Mia Yim, which I also like Mia Yim. I think because I like Mia Yim, he liked Mia Yim. He liked LaFesto. I like LaFesto. I like Chile and Melissa. He would go for who I like, and so he's like, oh yeah, Leroy, you have good taste. So those are the ones I liked. Ring of Honor wise, it would be Danielson, it'd be Joe, it'd be Kenta, but Homicide captured me because anytime somebody fucked up or somebody knew that it was basically you knew you was getting your ass whooped. It was a big fight field. The aura was in the music. He came out to Benny Siegel Speak the Truth when you heard the people banging on the barricades and stuff. It just felt different. I can't. So when I normally go on TikTok streams or Twitter spaces sometimes, and if you're mostly a WWE fan that you haven't watched like old school Ring of Honor, and I say Homicide, you'd be like, well, he was cool. Nah, you don't understand. It was different. He come out there and it would be like, it would be like going to war. So I just those are that's one of my big influences. I'm glad I got to give him his flowers. More importantly, I think that's more importantly that I wanted a match from him, but I'm glad I got to give him his flowers and he received those flowers. So that's one of those things. I got to do at the Hall of Fame. That was one of the cool things I got to do. Homicide. Let me go down the list. Homicide, Nigel McGuinness. I like Julius Smokes. I'm trying to get my friend to be I'm trying to get him to be the modern day version of Jolie Smokes because he wants to come out with me, but he doesn't know how to be a manager. Let's see who else. I'm trying to think. I said LaFesto. I said Chili Melissa. Oh yeah. Melissa. No, not Melissa. I like Carissa Perez and Nicole Matthews, the Canadian Ninjas. I think that was really. I think there was really good. I just like the character of like Portia was such a like snarky kind of character. Like she was such a smart ass. Um, um, pre Oscar, I like Kana. So um, Dakota Kai was when she was before she was Dakota Kai. I like that whole people. Trying to think who else. It's like so many different people. I like Mischief. Um, and then later on, I discovered CZW. So I discovered who Adam Cole was, and I was like, oh, this guy. I think it was the moment I seen him, I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna get pushed to the moon to CZW, and then Ring of Honor he started appearing. I'm trying to who else. Oh, Kingston. Kingston became one of my favorites because he just seemed more real than a lot of people at the time. Like his rivalries felt real. Um, I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, and then like I said, Coca Banner. Coca Banner's been my favorite for I think for years. I can do his move set like it's nothing. Um, so those are mine.
I mean, those are some good lists. That's some good company.
Yeah, definitely. And coming up, watching a bunch of wrestling in the SoCal indie scene, like there's a lot of names you named that I'm not familiar with, but like Colt Cabana was a guy that was around a lot for me. I was actually there for match 1 of the 7 Levels of Hate with him and Pierce for the NWA title. Samoa Joe, obviously, SoCal boy, saw him kind of coming up in Ultimate Pro Wrestling and PWG. Same with Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, more SoCal boys. Claudio and Hero, the Kings of Wrestling.
Yep. Can't forget Ruckus. Can't forget Ruckus was one of my favorites.
Ruckus is still doing it, man. Like, dude is still going.
Yeah, I love it. I'm trying to think who else. Like, so when I caught on the CZWs, I was I always tell people like this on lives that I was kind of like tribalistic back in the day in the sense of like when Ring of Honor and CZW was going at it, I was going at it with a lot of CZW fans. So I was waving my flag for Ring of Honor and shit like that. But then, like when that shit was over, I started watching and I was like, "Oh man, they got good people. Oh man, who's this AR Fox guy? I gotta check him out, man. I gotta." So, so yeah, that Danny Havoc. I'm trying to think who else. Tremont is always be my favorite. I saw the way they was building him and the way he was earning respect and stuff. But yeah, I think those are like the guys that I like, the girls and guys that I like. So and then I got into international stuff. So
yeah, I think I mean one of the questions that I'd like to know, and I think a lot of the fans might. Who came up with the nasty gimmick? Like, was that you? Was that all your brainchild, or did you have help coming up with that gimmick? Why did Nasty Leroy, or the nasty part of it come to be?
That was a combination of my friends, but our main friend. So, it was two friends of mine, and like, because he's not gonna watch this, but I'll give him credit anyway. He says I don't give him credit. My friend that was known, well, he became known in the general zone as the belt guy, but his, you don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. His name is Dwayne. So my friend Dwayne, and my friend Richie was at the time there was a viral moment of like a lot of people going viral, and so they wanted me to be viral, and so my name is Leroy actually. So the nasty part, because I ain't gonna lie, it was a lot of drunken nights. It was a lot of partying, and I was, I get a little, I be doing dances and stuff, and yeah. So I also have I have a temper, so I think that's also the core reasons of, and then also women just trying to like disrespect me on the list of like underestimating me of I can put it down in the bedroom basically, and I had to just tell him, and I humped the table one night, and it was like that was one of the reasons. But yeah, it's the commanders of things. It was like they did it as a joke, because it really was like a joke, and it was like because they like to be dickheads. I'm not gonna lie. About everything. But nah, it was a command of things. I have it was the thing of the ladies underestimating my bedroom abilities. It was I have an attitude problem. When I was drinking a lot. Not that I wasn't drinking heavy, but drinking a lot of times with my friends. It was a combined of a thing, and I have an attitude problem. So I think one night, my friend was like, he was like, "Oh, you just got a nasty attitude, huh? You just, And then and also they did also joke around and say it like, "Oh, they go Nasty Leroy," and I did not like it at the time. I did not like it. I was like, y'all just trying to make me out to sound like I'm a porn star, or I'm out here peeking in the bushes and some shit. Like I ain't like that shit. Like I didn't like using the name Leroy, because I just started using my first name. A lot of the times people know me as, my friends knew me as, but I just didn't like the name. I didn't like the name Nancy, but I didn't like the name Leroy. I always didn't like the name Leroy. My dad gave it to me when he changed my name over. So it's just a command of this stuff. But over the time I started it, my friend was like, I'm gonna make you like this name. You're gonna come around to it. And I think I came around to it, to be honest, to completely honest. I came around to it when like a girl came up to me, was like, "Hey, why do they call you Nasty Leroy?" And it was curious to why I was being called Nasty Leroy. And so that was just a door open to getting with the ladies at the time, one of the ladies. And
I was gonna say, did you tell her you want to find out? Like, how did that conversation go? Come on now.
I mean, I say that. That's what I said. I said, that's for you. That's for you to find out, and let's explore it.
There you go.
That's what
hey man, it is what it is, buddy. Sometimes you gotta let them know it happens.
Also, I haven't said this story. I haven't shared this story in a while. It also spans off of a story of. I know we don't bring it up. I know we don't bring the story because I've told this like 1,000 times because of the Janela Zone and Joey. But it started off of me getting baby birded by this older chick at the time when I was in my early 20s. So she baby birded cum in my mouth and shit. So that's also the story. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So
all of that, Nick.
Yes. Listen, buddy. Listen, nobody said this was a rated G show. Just let everybody know. If everybody's coming in and being all like, what the fuck? This is not rated G, okay? This is rated, you don't want to know.
There's a reason why our flagship show is called The Shenanigans. You never know what's going to unfold here.
You never know what's going to unfold. So, I mean, get away from that topic to kind of go into something else. Talk to us. So, you got into wrestling. because of the independence. You loved it. You got, from all these people. What was it like then, your journey to the Nightmare Factory and being a student there? Like, well, how did that journey kind of happen? And, like, tell us your experience at the Nightmare Factory.
I was training. I was training in other places. I was more like a gypsy of just training other places. I was training at Fox's for a little bit, and then I was training at Robert Gibson's. Uh, I was at Roberts one day, and I heard people was talking about, the Power Factories come down here. This was before it was the Nightmare Factory. So, the Power Factory, the Power Factory, the Power Factory. Once I hear something like 2 times, I get kind of interested, or three to 2 times. And so they was like, oh, this is gonna be this big camp with all these guys coming down here and stuff. So at the time it was QT for the Monster. It was supposed to be Monster Factory South, but ended up turning into like the Power Factory. So and it was Punisher Martinez before he was Damian Priest, and it was LSG down there, Leo C. Giovanni. And Delirious, and it was like a super camp. And so I was just comparing about that. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna get some money together. The money that I had saved up, and I went up there. I went up there. I did the camp. They liked me. I was supposed to spend a couple weeks up there. I really was supposed to spend a couple weeks. I was gonna go move back up to Philadelphia, move back home and stuff. So, homesick and all that stuff. So, fast forward, Cody. Cody came in the facility. He liked the facility. He liked that him and QT had a relationship. They got cool. It changed over to the Nightmare Factory. They combined the Nightmare Factory and the Power Factory. I didn't join none of the camps, so I was already to me, I was already in the business already. I broke in 2014, but I left and came back, so I was trying to start back over. This is like 2016, so I was like, all right, I just got to get foot back in the door. So it's kind of like a restart. So I did multiple camps with them. I did like all their super camps and stuff, but when they started doing the Nightmare Factory camps, I didn't do those. But I just would do training. I would start training with QT. QT would take me in the ring, and he would tell you this. He was like, you got all the personality, you got all the charisma, you got all that stuff, but your wrestling, you still need work in wrestling. Matter of fact, he's like, you're trash. You're trash. And I was like, and some people be like, oh, get mad at that or whatever. But I this is the first time somebody was keeping it honest with me, keeping it in the buck and keeping it brutally honest, which I liked it actually, because everybody would be like, oh, you're good. Oh, you're doing good and stuff. And then they wouldn't put me on their shows. So like, I want you to tell me the brutish honestly, what do I need to improve on? Like, he was like, oh, you need to improve on your fundamentals, or you need to improve on wrestling and stuff. And yeah, he would just tell me the honest truth. So, when the Nightmare Factory started, the first camp, I was around, but I wasn't there most of the time at the facility when they was doing it. Most of the time when they have the camps, I'm not usually there of like the campers and stuff. So, because I already did like the super camps and stuff, but I would be training with them. Like, oh man, we used to train like 3 days. Now it's like 2. We used to train like, we used to train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And we used to have like multiple rings. It was back then when Glacier would still come up there. This is back when Cody would be there on a regular basis. And Damien, well, back then it was Parker Martinez would come down there and he would like do train sessions and stuff. He would come down there like a couple weeks, like and stuff, teaching us how to do uh the agile stuff, the luchador stuff, and stuff like that. But also like um I think QT had she still had like the drills of like the how to do the WWE style drills of like trials and stuff. Um, so yeah, we do the great crushers. We do all that stuff. And like it was so hard that people would leave all the time. Like he would let people go a free week. Yo, if you come here a free week, see how you do, then you want to pay nothing. But people kept leaving and leaving and leaving and leaving and leaving and leaving. So like when the Nightmare Factory started, he was like, fuck that shit. Or he didn't say fuck that shit. He was like, well, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to just do camp. So you have to thing. I think it really messed them up, to be honest. And I've telling them this is that I think they kind of like was overcharging people for the camps. I mean, people still come at the Nightmare Factory because it's the name and stuff, and like, but also it's WID. But I really feel back then when I was training there, like the best thing about the factory was you come get this work. And yeah, it was probably one of the harder schools to you train at because the training is really hard and stuff like that. But also, it would have multiple. We would have multiple rings, multiple coaches. I'm talking about from Cody to Glacier. It was a time that Shug D, some people know him as Pampo People. We only call him Shug D around these parts. Was my coach at the time. We had like the cat. We had a whole bunch of people popping in and just like giving us knowledge. Coming from Nightmare Factory, but I'm a little bit of prodigy of both. I'm a little bit of like Nightmare Factory, and also Power Factory mixed into one. So
yeah,
yeah.
So you're the OG.
Out of all the people that you worked with and trained with at the Nightmare Factory, and the Power Factory, because you rattled off a good chunk of people, who would you say that you learned the most from?
I learned a lot from a lot of different people, but I would say the most was like, okay, QT for the in ring and stuff, because he helped me be a better wrestler and then like a better performer and stuff. And I know he gets a lot of criticism by IWC, but Cody taught me a lot about presentation. Like I wasn't a big presentation kind of guy. Like I ain't gonna lie, I was like other wrestlers. I would show up in my hoodies and stuff and my pants, and I just be like, I'm just gonna do this. But I wasn't bumming it, but like I would just be like, yo, this is my streetwear. This is what I do. This is what I wear. Like but like QT was also about like if you're gonna manage, and Cody was the same way. I think they were similar in the sense of their ideologies of like projection. He told me this, and I never forget this. He told me perception is reality. He said if you carry yourself like a superstar, you walk, talk, act like a superstar, you are a superstar. But the one that's stopping you is you. If you don't dress and talk, if you don't dress like a superstar, how people supposed to take you? You want to be this main eventer, you want to be this star, but you don't dress like one. And I say he wouldn't tell me to put on a suit, but like it would be like I'm telling you without telling you type of stuff.
Yeah,
like
implied.
Yeah, so it's like you don't have to wear it, but like
you should.
You should, basically. But QT would be like, okay, so he would be like, you don't have to wear a suit, but at least wear something like, maybe like something like a dress shirt or whatever when I would manage. At least do that. And he's like, just that this looks better, and it's just being a manager and stuff. So and at first, because when people tell me to dress up in suits. I never was really like, fuck, I gotta wear a suit.
Yeah,
But
fuck those guys.
yeah, I'm like very like anti-establishment and stuff in that sense. But
It's the old saying, dress for the job you want, not for the job you have.
right. I think what I think really what it was is like what made me realize that is when my uncle told me this. He said, "Well, you just gotta wear a suit," and I wore a suit, and like people look at you differently, like really do, or you don't even have to. Not really just not just the suit, but if you're dressing up, they look at you differently. They like, oh man, looking fly, and that's not like you stand out. Especially if you just have a shirt and some pants, you just have a dress shirt and pants. But if you put that together with a sports coat and you have some and some dress pants, some loafers, they'd be like, oh man, you're looking clean, looking like a real superstar. So,
100% there, 100%.
See, people
I
are
will say
listening to this. Go ahead, Lee.
I will say this. I learned a lot from Cody presentation wise. I learned how to dress walk like a superstar. Also, I learned from Shug D international stuff and international wrestling and British technical wrestling and stuff like that. I also learned. He told me the minutes thing is a real thing. He told me about making your minutes. If you make your minutes, nobody can take that away from you. No matter if you do it in 30 minutes, 30 seconds, 5 minutes. He told me about TV wrestling before I started. When I started working TV, it was more easier because they told me about it. He was like, "You're not going to get as much time as you think you're going to get." They would be like, "Oh, they're getting 3 to 5 minutes mostly." If you're doing an enhancement match, mostly or whatever. So, especially if you on the first time for going for TV, extra work and stuff like that. So, I learned and managed, to do the best of my ability.
Well,
Right,
that's the same
maximize
thing
those minutes.
Yeah, and I mean, we sang her praises. That was my world. Like, she was a prime example of that. She took a situation that she found herself in. She maximized her minutes, and look where she is now. Right, like just coming off of being a finalist in the Owen.
One of 3 main events at Forbidden Door.
Being in a stupid fucking casino. Anyways, I'm not gonna talk. We're not here for that.
Vic, no.
We're not here for that. We're not here for that.
I still say she should have beat Mercedes, but that's just me.
Don't get me started. Anyways, yeah, no, it's all about maximizing your minutes, and you're right. Wrestlers should do more of that. Not feel like they're too big for the spotlight. You're an enhancement talent. You get your 3 to 5 minutes, whatever it is. You make the most of it. Like simple, just a simple thing. So I mean, you touched on the Nightmare Factory. So you went into the Night Factory. You're training. What? Then you get so now from that point, how long until you gave or you got contacted by Brett at GCW and now, at that point you're doing your stuff with Brett. Talk to us a little bit about that stuff.
It was right when I was doing my AEW stuff, like right after the AEW. I came off I came home. Well, I didn't get come home until later, but I stayed in Florida. I stayed in Jacksonville for like 6 months. So I would so what I did was I would go I went home to Atlanta, or not home, but the place where I live. I can't call that city my home. I won't give Atlanta people that. But I went to my place. By the time I went to my place, I would just say this. I had to go, like, because I had to go get tested and stuff and do all that. So I get contacted going back to Florida. I'm literally gonna go back to Jacksonville, and so after like get tested, I come back as I'm getting ready to like I'm literally about to be contacted by AEW, and it was like, yo, we're gonna bring you back. But then at the same time, Brad hits me up on Facebook Messenger and says, hey, well, they don't even say it. Let me rewind it because I gotta rethink this shit. I was on live with Joey on Janela's Zone, and he surprised me of me being at GCW. I was in Jacksonville for 6 months. May have been 3, but I know it was a long time. I may be getting fucked up, but anyway, we was doing a live, and he was like, "Oh, I got a surprise for you," and I think the video's still up. I don't know if it's still up or whatever. The one thing that Joey forgot to do, he forgot to record most of the shit. Like it was legendary shit. Me and Danhausen had a great thing, and I wanted to pull that up and stuff. Not just because he's in WWE, because I think that's a great moment of me, me cussing all the time in my mouth, and him, you get taken out the air type shit. So yeah, he surprised me. And he was like, "Hey, you going to Backyard Wrestling? You debuting for GCW?" And it was a shock. I was like, I don't really cry like that a lot of times. So I broke down. I broke down but I broke down in like happiness, because I've been trying to get on GCW for a minute, so.
Yeah. I mean, for all intents and purposes, GCW is the new ECW, and you having found ECW when you were younger, I can understand why it would be kind of big for you to go there.
Yeah, definitely remind me of ECW. So, so yeah, it was a total shock. Joey announced it. The video, I had my face doing like this because I don't want nobody to see me fucking crying or whatever. But I couldn't help it. I couldn't fucking help it. I cut a promo because he wanted me to cut a promo in that moment because I was so emotional. I don't even know what the fuck I said, to be honest. I think I said something about me. I think I said something like, whoever's in the ring, I'm kicking everybody's ass. Whoever the opponents I am, I'm kicking all that rat bastard ass or something like that. I don't even remember. It's been some time, but probably because one of my best promos of my career, probably, So.
All right. Well, Nick mentioned GCW, and we've known you for, like we said at the outset, a little over a year now. All the independent wrestling we cover, the only time I've ever seen you wrestle was the Clusterfuck last year when you came out to New Jack's theme, paying homage to him, and then got in there doing your thing. And I remember Natural Born Killers hit, and I'm like, wait a minute, who's coming out to this? New Jack is dead. Like, what the hell? And then we saw the tag Nasty Leroy, and me and the guy that I was doing the commentary with at the time for our watch along stream, we were like, oh shit, it's Leroy. So I say that to say, since you're not on a whole lot of the GCW shows, for whatever reason, where can people find you these days? I know you do 1FW, but talk about some of the other companies that you work at or for or have worked for, where people can, try to find some Nasty Leroy matches.
Okay, so Nasty Leroy matches is scattered all over. I got most of my stuff is on Triller, but some of my stuff is on YouTube.
For however long
but-
Triller lasts now, right? Like,
yeah.
Triller seems to be a sinking ship. So how much longer will Leroy matches be on Triller?
I don't know. I like have like 4 or 5 matches that are on Triller. Oh, not Triller, but on YouTube. So okay, I would say talk about the companies I have worked for, but before I do, I like to preference that I'm strictly one fall right now because, and this is not a shot to anybody or whatever. It's just been strategic of like not because I'm not getting booked any places, but like I'm in a stage in my career right now where I'm not going to just like, and this is also the GCW, and this is no disrespect to Brat, but like if you're not making a priority to get me travel, or you're not making a priority, if you want to book me but you don't want to pay for the travel, I'm not coming over there. Like I used to fly for places, and I'm not doing that shit no more. Like it doesn't get me in the momentum. Like when I was first breaking out with Joey and stuff, I would fly myself out. I would do all that stuff. It's kind of like the tryout theory. I have this theory with tryouts where I've done so many tryouts where if you really wanted me, you could get in contact with me. That's how I feel. And like I used to not feel that way. I used to be like, my friend would used to tell me like, you gotta want to make you want them, and they're gonna make it come to you. And I used to be like, no, I gotta hit them up. But every time I hit them up, it's on red or they seen it, and we're not going through that. I'm not going through that anymore. So I always tell people like, if you want Nasty Leroy or the future character that I'm working on, if you want that person, you can contact me. And I used to have a manager. Well, my manager was my friend. We're not working together because I fucked up. But I currently do my own stuff right now. And if you want to hit me up, you can hit me up. But
now, before you go on, does that extend to things like WrestleMania week? Because like I said, I noticed you were on the show last year, but I didn't see you on too many shows for WrestleMania this year. And we were out there for Mania this year, myself and my buddy Walter.
Yeah.
So, like, do you travel? Are you still down to travel for like WrestleMania week type of stuff to try to get yourself multiple bookings, for that week, or you still hold to that? If you want me, you know where to find me.
I still hold to that mantra because like that was like before Mania week and after Mania week. If you really wanted, like, and this is how and this sounds like conky whatever, but it's like tried and true, like what I realized. Mania week, before Mania week, people, when I was hot, right, when I was like the hottest thing going on the indies, people would contact me like weeks before and be like, Larry, we want you to come here, and we want you to come here, and this, it'd be like multiple promotions contacting me, and then I would accept the booking, but then we would talk payment and all that kinds of stuff, and then most of the time it was like, you know what, I'll go half on it. We'll split travel and stuff like that, and I would like pay for my flight mostly for Mania weekend, mostly with GCW and other promotions and stuff, because I always thought it was a good, I don't want to. So the whole thing I got from Joey was, you don't want to charge too. I don't. You don't want to overcharge, but you don't want to charge too much. So I didn't overcharge. I even actually would tell people, hey, we can work out something like getting the lowest flight of my travel. And I normally used to talk about this shit on public, but it needs to be known going forward, because I want people, if you're promoting, you look at this and you're thinking like, oh, you're too good to work this place, or you're no, it's not. It's just I've gotten like a real, it's funny, a real nasty reality of if you really wanted me, you would get me though. Like, if you wanted to bring me in, you could, and I would travel by car. I would travel by plane, and it even happens on Mania weekend. Like even before Mania weekend, people was like, "Oh, Leroy, we want you to come in. All right, we'll pay you this, but you got to get your own flight." And I'd be like, "All right, cool." But then at the same time, bro, this is like when I was making good money, and I'm still making good money, but this is like when I was really, really making good money in the pandemic, so I wouldn't mind getting a flight or whatever, so it'd be all right. It's not as much as I used to be making now, but I'm still making a good amount of money of multiple incomes that I have. But I'm not gonna like if you. This is the whole thing I use. If you're flying in Shotzi Blackheart, right, and I get it, she's a TV star, all that kind of, that's totally different, right? If you're following, we use these three people. If you're following in Shotzi, if you're bringing in Effie, if you're bringing in Joey, if you're in you like, oh, you know what, you could get a flight, Leroy, then you really don't value me as a commodity that you think you say you do. And to be honest, I'm not going to just settle for just being somebody's third or fourth choice, of like, I have to get I have to get this, like I'm like 3 years in. I'm going in my 11th year of my career as like, I'm in my 10th year, 10th year going to my 11th year. And it's going to a point where I got to know my value somehow. Like, people be like, I'm not gonna, and I really hate going over like business stuff, but this has to get out there. I'm not paying you $100 and stuff, but you'll pay other people like Matt Car. Let's get to that. Matt Cardona got paid $2,000 on GCW shows, and you don't want to pay me $100. What the fuck? I would at least get $100, bro. Like, you paying, I get it, TV star, all this other stuff, but you don't want to pay me at least $100, dog. But you're just doing clusterfuck stuff, and you're just this, and you should appreciate where you should be on the card, and you should just take this. Nah, fam, we ain't on that shit no more. Because then I'm barely getting on shows. I'm a per appearance wrestler at the most, but I'm like the Undertaker in these pieces. I'm like Roman Reigns in these pieces. What's the Undertaker? I'm like, you only appear once in a while, so you can't pay me $100 just because of that. Nah, this is
here.
Yeah, bro. Like I just feel like I just realized that other people you can know other people's worth. You can pay this person, and shout out to Shotzi Blackheart. You can play all these people that either come on the independents or are independent names, but I gotta get like $50 and like that shit, or not even 50. Get 30, get 20, or sometimes not even forget to pay me. Forget that. Oh, well, Leroy, you just did a match and you're paying Cheeseburger more than me. What's the disrespect at the most thing? I ain't gonna say who promotes or who did that, but they know who they are. Like
talk to them, buddy. Talk to them.
I think I was more mad at that than anything. You gonna pay a fucking Red Bassett who he comes in once every while. I'm waving the flag for your promotion. I'm wearing the hoodies. I'm promoting your place. Ain't nobody on a roster other than the two people that wrestle there regularly promoting. So I get the blue end of the stick. How does that sound? Maybe it sounds egotistical. Maybe this is my quote unquote heel turn in the industry and I'm becoming better. But I'm not. I'm just saying the facts.
Yeah. I don't take it as a heel turn, bro. Like you said it during that little tirade there. It's knowing your value, knowing your worth.
Yeah, 100%.
And betting on yourself. And it's something that, you brought him up when in a way to diss, but Cardona. Bet on himself, knew what his value was, made sure he got that value. Cody knew his worth, knew what his value was. He wasn't going to settle for Stardust bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
He knew you know your value, your worth. If other people don't see that, that's on them. It's the same thing with us and our little crew here, the Simply Reliable Studios. I know our value. I know what we can be. I've seen it for the last 5 years, but it's really started rolling since January. This year, my boy here says it all the time to the point where fans have gotten tired of it. It's almost become a catchphrase. 2026 is our year. If you ain't on the train, I don't know what to tell you at this point.
Right.
So I totally get, you got fired up there, and I love that passion. Now, let's rewind. Talk a little bit about 1FW, your home right now, and talk about some of the other companies that you've worked at where we can maybe find some of your matches. And then we got to get into the Rat Bastard thing, because you've brought up Rat Bastard now a couple times. We're definitely gonna have to get into that, but let's talk about 1FW, your home.
So I'll go to promotions I work for in the past. So I work for New South Wrestling. I'll give this to Adam Priest. Even back then I couldn't, because to me he was a rat bastard. And Bland Man, which is funny enough, he went from Bland Man to Season Man, in a matter of some time. So me and Adam Priest, New South Wrestling. I work for New South. I work for New Texas. Over in, I think now in Austin. They used to be in Houston, but Austin area. I worked for District Championship Wrestling. I worked for Wrestle Pro Alaska. I worked for Action Wrestling, Platinum Championship Wrestling. Trying to think what else. Who else? Like I said, mostly GCW stuff. The spring breaks in the clusterfucks and the backyard wrestling. You can check my stuff out, or Backyard Wrestling 2, I think it is. Backyard Wrestling 3. Spring Break, what was it? It would be Spring Break 5? I think it's 5. 5, 6. What was it? Yeah. It was supposed to be Tampa, but I didn't make it to Tampa. But yeah. Spring Break 5, Spring Break 6 in Dallas, or Joey hit me in the nuts and super kicked me because he wanted his damn flowers. I won't go into that. I think that's it. If I'm forgetting one.
Well, the clusterfuck last year.
Clusterfuck last year, of course, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I think they said I got a lot of shit on my resume, but I got maybe more. I think more. I did commentary at the 24-hour show for GCW. The commentary at New Texas. Okay, matches wise, I'll say matches. Me and Adam Priest, New South. Me and Cheeseburger, in like a 10-man tag we did not too long ago. Months ago, I think. Maybe even last year. Either last year or this year. He does his rat bastard moves and he cheated, of course. What else? Oh yeah, can't forget. Me and Retinal Wrestling. I did a thing in Retinal Wrestling where that's a really cool promotion. If anybody's in the Birmingham area, so definitely check that out. Me and Brandon Williams. I did a rare thing where I did technical stuff. The whole match. So showed a little bit of that. See what else? Other matches that I can. Those are like off the top of like if you wanted to look at my stuff, like me and Priest, me and Cheese, GCW one is the one of Back at Wrestling 3. The spring breaks. So I think spring break 5, spring break 4, where the one in Indiana. That I was in that one. The one last year. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think those are the ones. If you want to like just see me, in those. But yeah, praise Cheese. Beating up Cheese is fun. So anything with me beating up him. I'm trying to think what else. I have a lot of matches, but I just don't like. I can't like. Those are the ones that stick out for right now. But yeah,
No worries. I mean, you said yourself you've got an 11-year career. If you sat here listing them all off, we'd be here all night. So
yeah. So you said One Fall. What's going on with me and One Fall?
Yeah, talk just a little bit about One Fall Wrestling.
All right, One Fall Wrestling is NWA might get a little mad about this, but I'm not working for them. It's what NWA was supposed to be, but better. It's traditional wrestling, family friendly wrestling, but a little spin on it. It's classic wrestling, but a little spin on it. Like it's your Mid South, it's your world class, it's your TV style, studio style wrestling, but a little modern spin on it. Like basically, we have the best women's wrestlers in the country. And we'll be on TV soon. Like it's not an opinion. It's a fucking fact. So we got a Hyena Hair. She's been wrestling for I think 5-6 years now. I think. Hyena Hair. She's real. If I had to describe her character, she's a person. She's like a woman that had a bad day to turn into animalistic woman that's feral. If that makes any sense. You got the spicy quesadilla and Angelica Rest. Cause she'll be kicking your ass, but she'll be doing it with sauce and twerking on her opponents. But she also got a fiery attitude. She is the current reigning and defending 1FW women's champion. We got Mantasy Parker Lee. He's a party guy. That's what they tell me. That all I can say, he's a party guy. But he might get inspiration from Magic Mike. He comes out dancing to some songs and stuff. We got everybody's. So one of our other than me being the top babyface there, we got Brady Booker. He calls himself the Big Brody. He's like the guy. It's like the opposite of what a football. His character's like what's that movie? Was it Blue Mountain State?
Varsity Blues?
No, I think it's Blue. I think it's Blue Mountain State with all the football players and stuff. It was like a Spike TV.
Possibly. I
think so. So his character's like that. He's a football player that he's everybody's best friend. He's everybody's homie. So yeah, he used to be in the Fed, but we ain't talking about that. He used to be with Chase U, but he's rebranded himself into Bodie
Haywood.
Yeah, so now he goes as Brady Booker. So we got this freak athlete in our roster. He's what 260. He's 6'5". He's a BC athlete as fuck. He's like, I'm not just hyping him up because he's in my promotion, but like I've seen a lot of athletic guys, but like I have never seen somebody who's powerful and has Rob Van Dam athleticism. Like he has a kick that like fucking does a Rob Van Dam kick that is insane. His name is Elijah Drago. He's the Ukrainian Thriller. He will definitely be on AEW for sure. I'm sure AEW is looking at them. Who else? I'm trying to think who else. We got my favorite Italian, Rosario Grillo. He has his own group called Intello. I can never pronounce their group name. But Cratello Grillo, as his own group, it's like our version of the FBI, basically. So we got them. We got a whole bunch of different stars. Oh, can't forget the Prodigy, the problem herself, Remy Reed, trained by Jonathan Gresham, Billy Gunn, and Cody, and Cody sometimes, but mostly Jonathan Gresham, QT, and Billy Gunn. She's like really like a top tier rising star, and not only just Georgia circuit, but in independent wrestling. Like her mannerisms and stuff like that is top tier. She's already at the age she's at. She just turned 18. She's already a better wrestler than a lot of women out there. Matter of fact, a lot of men out there, to be honest. When you're trained by one of the goats in Jonathan Gresham, your shit is like this. Your shit is yeah, pretty good promo. She's always improving. So I'll say look out for her. If I had to recommend a match, would be the first time we was doing our TV show. Is her. So it's Remy Reed, an Alika Rest, is Hyena Hera, and Robin Renegade in a 3-way dance, triple threat type of action. One of our first, I think it's like our third episode we do. That was on Triller, but now it's on my AEW. So, some people say you pay for it. I'm not paying for it. The perks of being that man. But yeah, that's the match. One of W Championship, the first ever championship. So, and in our current episode, we have like Remy Reed and Angelica Riss in a steel cage. So our recent one on my AEW. But yeah, our thing is we're more to the community. We're more community based type of people. We really support our people. They support us. We run in the Watkinsville. We run Watkinsville, Georgia. Who else we run? We run in Jefferson, Georgia. We basically run all over the state, to be honest. Gainesville, we do a lot of shows there. Our main TV taping place is in McDonough, Georgia. We got our own arena called the 1FW Arena. Our stuff looks like a national TV, but we're still independent. That's because QT's got the money. We got Billy Gunn popping up there mostly all the time. We got the Frat House from AEW. We got the Infantry from AEW. We've had the Shane Taylor Promotions. We've had Darby. We've had MJF. We've had the who's of the industry. And I will talk shit to all of them if I feel like it. But, only select people.
Okay. Okay. So how does it feel? I mean, to kind of piggyback off of that, I don't know if you can speak to it, but how does it feel being on my AEW, being one of those first independent promotions, being on being on my AEW?
I think it's earned. I think it's earned of me and all the unsung heroes for 1FW was pushing for we have a top tier place, so we would want a top tier platform. And as one of the originals of the promotion, Me and Preston are probably the only ones. Me, Preston, and Chad Skywalker are one of the originals that are there. And I think it's just the left of all the hard work and stuff. It's earned. And I like to thank myself. And I like to thank me putting on the back because my back is tired and I gotta get a chiropractor because shit hurts. But no, in all seriousness though, it's really I think it's great. It's a great thing that we don't have to be shut in the corner of like, yeah, we're really that good independent thing, but we're sneaked down in the corner. But now people know, like, if you turn on MIAW, that I ain't just talk when you see what I'm saying of like all the people who not only has been there, but like top notch quality production, our top notch women's division, men's division. Of course, me being in there, being one of the guys waving a flag for the promotion. But and this is the thing, like I understand, like people wave the flag for their promotion, but I was doing it when nobody else was doing it. So I'm glad that to get the proper congratulations for not only just my hard work, for QT's hard work, for Jack Jameson, who's behind the curtain most of the time, for who else? Like all the ring crew guys that's been like helping and stuff. Just everybody that's been like always grinding. So my boy Solar, everybody that's been putting in the work. So it's a good thing. So, and they can see me whooping people up on AEW, and know that it's gonna come in HD. So
Okay. Well, we said we were going to come back to it after 1FW. We need to get into this rat bastard list. For the people out there who are unfamiliar with you, because Nick and I kind of know, having interacted with you in the spaces. What is the rat bastard list? Who is on the rat bastard list? And if you can, a word or two. You don't have to go into like lengthy descriptions, but why are some of these people on your rat bastard list? Because I know I popped you in a space when I said that I had a couple people on my rat bastard list, and you're like, you got a rat bastard list? And I was like, man, no, I don't like these people, but I knew if I used that term, I'd pop you.
You did. You caught me off guard. You did. My red bastard list is not just people I like. It's just you scorned me, and now you got on not only in my bad side, you on the side of like the worst of the worst side. That's something you don't want to be on. A rat bastard to me is a shady, shifty individual that is a low down scoundrel. I learned that recently, scoundrel. And you just pissed me off in a way of like, I'm gonna get you, but in due time, I'm gonna make you wait for the pain. And it don't see a lot of let's talk about this. A lot of people in wrestling are like, they talk behind people's backs and they like I don't like this person, but they be nice to them and stuff. I'm a person that if I don't like you, I want you to know that. I want you to feel it. I want you to know in public and anybody that if you're talking about him, Leroy don't like him. Like I'm not with that fake shit. So I'll just call it out and I'll let it be publicly known. And who's on the list? I'll tell you on the list. Some are known to people, some are national TV names, and some are local independent names. But it don't matter who it is, you all can get these hands. So those persons, number one, Uno is MJF. I recently put him back on there. He was on there for a long time. Then I took him off because I was doing other rat bastards. So I was like, you know what? He ain't messing with me. I ain't messing with him. He ain't messing with, I left it alone. Before that, it was Tony Evans and it was David Ali and it was Atticus Cougar. Well, it's still Atticus Cougar, but It was David Ali and Tony Evans. But on the list is MJF, Tony Evans, Cheeseburger, Agus Cougar, Charles Mason, David Ali, Tommy and Vince. Well, you know what? Now putting it on there, let me just say this. Now I wasn't gonna put them on there, but I'm gonna put them on there since you've been ignoring me. And recently on the list now, Tommy Invincible.
Fuck that guy.
That's who's on the list. So anybody can be on the list. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you're on WTV. I don't care if you're on AEW TV, GCW. The list knows no bounds. You want to talk about, and what was it? Richard Holiday has a signature move. I have my signature list. It don't matter no gender. It don't matter no what you identify as. It don't matter who, what, when. It's international. It's all different kinds of ways. So
See, hold on, Nick. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, because I knew a couple of people on your list. I was this close, my guy, to wearing either my Charles Mason or Atticus Cogar shirt just to troll you, knowing that they were on your rat bastard list.
Okay.
Because I got merch for both of them, dude. I got a bunch. I got Vandal 48 shirts. I got Cogar shirts. I've got Mason shirts. You know.
Well, I gotta know, why is Mason and Cogar on your rat bastard list? What the fuck did they do?
Okay, I'm gonna make it short and quick.
And is it just Atticus, or is it the entirety of Vandal 48?
No, it's just Atticus. It's always been Atticus. So Atticus ruined my debut, where Donnie being the troll and stuff, he thought that was hilarious when I got jumped and stuff. So Atticus Cooper jumped me in was it GCW 4 when there was Indiana, my big debut. And I ain't like that shit. Well, he jumped me. Let me just say this: he jumped me because at the time I was talking to Allie, and I didn't even know it was a thing. So somebody tells me they're a thing. I didn't even know there was an item at the time. So he jumps me because he's jealous of that man. Because he could. Let's be honest. If I really, if I really wanted to get with him, I would. But I didn't. Well, you know what? No, I did. I did shoot my shot at Allie later on just to piss him off. But that's just me because you don't jump me.
You don't jump Nasty Leroy. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. Charles Mason, he's on there because I was minding my business at the catering table in Atlanta at GCW. I was eating some popcorn and a low carb donut. It was low carb, okay? And I was minding my business, and he want to smack the shit out of my hand and smack me. I don't just like how you just gonna smack somebody and it's thinking it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna get my payback, so definitely in a rat basket because of that.
Oh shit! Okay.
Okay. Fair enough, man. I like the fact that it's personal and it's not just business.
Yeah.
Because as a guy who's never really worked in the business, at the end of the day, we're just fans. The only people that I would say are on my rat bastard list are because of personal reasons as well. And I have one that I don't like, but I have 3 people that I would actually put on my rat bastard list because of personal encounters within the business. I take that back 4. Matt and Nick, Candice LeRae, Joey Mercury.
Candice LeRae? That's shocking. I'm not gonna lie.
All of them because of personal stuff, and I can clue you in off the air because I don't want to get back into it on air here. But just personal issues between them in the past. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll tell you the reason why I dislike David Ali. David Ali, if those who don't know, he was a local Georgia wrestler who appeared on a couple of AEW ones and stuff like that. And because he was trying to get his name out there, and he saw that I had a following, cause doing a Janela Zone type of stuff. Oh, you know, um, he decided that he talking about, oh, he want to take my mom to Pound Town and shit. So it's still on site. I'm still putting hands on him. If I come to Chicago and he's in freelance or any other promotion, I'm putting hands and feet on him. It's happening, and he knows this. He knows this. That's why he moved to Chicago. He moved from Georgia to Chicago to get away from me. And yes, I am that feared. Oh, can't forget. He's on a list, but I just like to have him on a list to piss people off. He's on a list, but I don't really like. He's not going to wrestle me ever in his life because he knows better. Uh, Matt Cardona's on the list too, so
Okay.
yeah. So he let me just put this right here and say this right here. So he was scared to wrestle me because he found out about my history. He found out how I pulled a gun up on somebody. He found out about my crash out ability and my nasty attitude. And basically he didn't want to wrestle me. We've been in spaces. He told me he would wrestle me, but it's been lip service. And I ain't gonna lie, I wowed out and said a couple of things to him, some I don't remember, but my friend had to touch me up on stuff that I've said. I basically called him a cuck one time, but that's also I just pointed it out. I ain't say it, but like that's what my friend said. He's scared of me because he think I'm gonna pull out a gun on him. He doesn't know he's legit scared. I tried to get this match booked before he went back to the Indies, and he will be like, "Oh, Leroy, you didn't make him go back to WWE." I did because I call him out multiple times about he talks about he wanted to help the Indies, but did he help? He helped certain guys. Yeah, he helped certain guys, but he didn't help the Indies. Because if you really help the Indies, and you're really helping. You would be helping, and if you really wanted to wrestle me, you really wanted to fight me, you'd have fought it multiple times. Promoted from Brett Lauderdale to people at Wrestle Pro to anybody else I talked to, try to get it booked, and he would tell him, "No, not to book it. Don't book it. Don't book it." But this is the same person that wanted to run Indie Mania, and he wanted to run his own show, and he wanted to help the boys and the girls, and he wanted to be this great guy of independent success. But mostly he's like, "Oh, I'm king in indies, but I really want to go back to WWE because I really can't handle this independent life." That's really was. And I call him out on it. And people don't like that when I call him out on it. And what did he do? He went back to the E. But now he's getting jobbed out. He's getting his ass whipped by Randy Orton and everybody else. So I'm happy at the end of the day.
Okay. But I mean, you talked about the spaces. It's no secret. You're big on social media. What's your view being, part of like not only a wrestler but part of the IWC? Because again, you've been in a lot of spaces. You're on X. What's it like being like? Do you take anything that the IWC says to heart? Do you like? What is your kind of perception of the IWC? Because a lot of people like to go on that app and just fucking just talk.
Diarrhea of the mouth is what we like to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, what's your take on the IWC? Do you try to stay away from it? Are you it? Like, what do you kind of?
This is a good question, Nick. I like that you went there because, to your point, you interact with the IWC on a level that I don't really see a lot of other wrestlers do because you jump in spaces. You see wrestling talk happening and you're like, hold on, let me pull up in here, see what people are chatting about. Sometimes you request a mic, sometimes you just listen. And I don't see that from a lot of other people. So you've definitely got an interesting perspective on this. Go ahead.
I usually just want to, because like this is just I use this as, even when I'm in the industry, I'm still a fan at the end of the day. So like when I'm on spaces, I'm talking as a fan, but people like to try to pull your card of like, you're not in it, you're not a wrestler, or you don't really be around these people. And then when you tell them, and I used to be one of those people. I used to show everything to them, evidence. See, I've been with this person. See who trained me. See this person. Now I'm at a point where I don't care if you know I'm trained by Cody Rhodes. If you believe it, I don't care if you think I wrestle in GCW and AEW. That don't matter. You can think I'm just a fan who has a wrestling personality or whatever the case may be. I don't care about that. But I do hear a lot of, I'll give credit because I use this word a lot, and I to my boy Daryl Starks, Mr. Starks from Covalent TV. I saw a lot of fair walkers on the internet, but mostly Twitter and TikTok. It's a lot of those saying egregious stuff out here. Like it's egregious stuff, and the egregious stuff doesn't stop. But it's just I listen to it, and it's be like sometimes you'll get me though. Like sometimes I'm not gonna lie, you'll get my go. You're raised, baby, you'll get me. Like I want to tell you, I don't really get it. I don't get upset or my favorite one. You know what I love when people say the internet, the IWC is not a real place. It's a real place. It is a real place, but you can't let that place bother your mental because they be saying wild shit. Some of the wild shit I've heard on TikTok is one person said, and I won't name him because I ain't giving him publicity. When somebody said, "Oh yeah, Obafemi is better than Samoa Joe," and I was just like, "You just gotta leave on that." Right today, I was on there and I saw people was talking about is Rey Mysterio generational, and I just be shaking my head. I just be listening and be like, I just be like, brother, you're just talking now. Like, is he
Well,
generation?
well, just to play an honest devil's advocate, counterpoint here. If the person asking the question didn't come up in an era of like Reign of Honor Joe, TNA Joe, they may not know what Joe can really do. If all somebody knows of Rey Mysterio is that he's Dom's daddy from these last few years and he's a deadbeat dad, and they don't know the Lucha Libre, they don't know the ECW, WCW history, these are legitimate questions and takes, because they don't know the era of those guys that we know. You know what I mean? Just to play a
Right,
quick little devil's advocate here.
right. But I don't think they want to know though. I also think they don't want to know.
That's fair too. There's so much easy access to the footage that they can study on that shit.
Well, when you tell people to study something, it's a whole argument there in of itself. So, God forbid people Google something they're going down. God forbid.
You look up a YouTube clip or whatever. I'm not forcing you to look at it, but like however way you look up some old Joe matches, old Rey Mysterio matches, like you see. I've like I don't know how to participate. I don't because like I'm a part of it, but I'm not a part of it. I also feel myself as like I'm just a person. I'm not even just a person. I'm an outlier of like I be around like I keep my ear to the streets of like IWC
Yeah.
because I feel like as a wrestler you want to see what they talking about. You don't want to just like alienate yourself from like the thing. Most wrestlers don't even do interviews, and like I do interviews, but I do interviews for people I rock with. So I rock with you guys, so I do this interview, and I ain't charging like money because like I could, but like I'm not going to. Like it's just like if I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you, bro. I'm not gonna force to pay you to interact with you. Um, and so like um, I don't do like most wrestlers do. I'm interact with the people. I interact with the people. But but also this is also what I say to IWC, and you can clip this. I I don't care how much you think I don't wrestle. I don't care if I've never been on your TV screen on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. If you've never seen me on Dynamite, I don't care about none of that shit. If you think I'm just some guy on the internet like you guys, fine. That's fantastic. But at the end of the day, you say the wildest shit. You be like, "Oh, do you wrestle? Oh, you do? I don't believe you." Okay, whatever. What I do care is the funniest thing is people pay attention to where I be at. They be watching what I be doing. You don't, and like I hate to bust up people's bubble, but you don't think Cody Rhodes is watching what I'm doing because I'm part of his Nightmare family? You don't think people that I know in AEW is watching my streams or secretly, not publicly, secretly watching the TikTok lives? Shit, one of them will probably watch this interview going back. Like, but what they don't understand is I got people in the industry, and I use this word a lot because I have to get real. I never really use it, but I got people in the whole. I have people from WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor. I don't know. I don't think New Japan, but like all the promotions that you would think that you think of the majors and shit. The watching my stuff. Why? Because they know they want to keep up with me. I'm friends with a lot of people in there. And when I tell people this, they think I'm being an egomaniac or I'm too cocky. No, it's a fact that I know people. I'm friends with Brian Breaker. I'm friends with Roxanne. I'm friends with Kevin Knight. I'm friends with Jay Cargill. Like the infantry are my homies. Like, and I say this not to brag, this is a fact, but when you try to call me out like, oh, you're lying, you're this. You,
have no
IWC,
idea.
you people can't tell me who I know, you can't tell me who I am, but you like to tell somebody who they are. You don't know Zilla 52. You don't know this person. How you know? How do you know? Like Andre said, how do you know what I know? You don't know me.
No, exactly. Like, and that's one of the things that I love about it too. To give you a chance to calm down there from being riled, but like, just as a fan, you know, going to a lot of these shows, going to a lot of these indies, especially like I said back in the day, I was a huge PWG guy back in the day, like 05, 06, 07, like the glory days of PWG. Okay. Seeing El Generico, Kevin Steen, Brian Danielson, all these guys before they made it to the E. And me and my buddies got to know Brian Danielson on such a level that when we went to SummerSlam Access and he was out there doing meet and greets, he saw me and my crew, and he was like, "Hey, where's Jeff at?" And Jeff, my buddy, didn't have the money to get a ticket for that access. He had a ticket for the next one. We pointed at the barricade. We were like, "Dude, he's right over there waiting for the next session." Dude got off the stage, came down the stairs, went to the barricade, gave my boy a big ass hug because he saw us, knew he was nearby, and went and showed that love. Didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That just goes to show how even on a fan's level, you can connect with somebody and they remember you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think it's important to connect. I really believe in this philosophy of like it was Cody who told this to me. He was like you treat everybody how you wanted to be treated, of course, but like the treat everybody like it's your friends, right? Treat all the production people like your friends. Get to know everybody, right? He always told me get to know everybody. So like the people behind the cameras, like you name it, knowing whoever, because people want to feel like that's my friend, and like you want to support, like that's the philosophy of like you seen an underground like mixtape guy for like years, and you know him, and you being like certain gatherings. So then when he does make it, when he is on the Today Show and he's on the Tonight Show and he's like having a stream and his stream is going crazy and stuff like that and he's popping off. People like, oh, I remember when we were just chatting about, your future career goals, and I remember when you was talking about, oh, you want to saddle out Madison Square Garden, and then you go into like Madison Square Garden or L.A. where you're at, at I don't know, they still call it the Staples Center.
Nah, it's now called the Crypto.com Arena.
Okay, so go to the crypto.com arena, and like you seeing him there, and like he's blown up, he's now a star. But you remember when he was a mixtape artist, or when he was SoundCloud and he was only streaming it, and like maybe like 2,000 people only knew him, but now millions of people know him. I use that philosophy of like, just like let's say for example, I'm gonna just put this out there, right? Let's say let's say 3 months from now I get on AEW, right? And I have a match, and I start now, but it's not only just a match. It's like I have a match with MJF and shit, right? I'm beating the hell out of him, as I will be doing. Talking my shit. I'm having a promo with him. But you gonna remember the time when I was in spaces with y'all talking about, how much I just love MJF, but also the show of Dynamite and Forbidden Door and whatever else we're talking about, because you know me. And so it's better when you know me, like you said earlier. You know me. Oh, it's my friend Leroy and stuff. You know the philosophy I
100%.
use.
100%. And trying to build those relationships now with the new breed of talent. Went to WrestleMania, like I said, and saw a bunch of people over the course of the week. Obviously, saw Jack Cartwheel so many times, right, to the point where dude injured himself at Gringo Loco's World of Lucha show. We saw him like the next day. He's pulling up his X-rays on his phone, showing us his X-rays and shit.
That's Jack for you.
Because we had gotten to get to know him, and then he comes, does an interview with us, shortly after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But just trying to build those relationships again. You know what I mean, with the new generation of talent.
It's to come to the thing of like connection is real important to me, because I always feel like, so my thing is like, once we're connected, you support me on a lot of stuff, and what the craziest thing is, like, my mom came. She came to, she came a lot of times to the Nightmare Factory, but she'd be like, oh, I think she came on the stream one time, and people was like, Mama Nasty this, Mama Nasty that, of like the Janela Zone, and so it became a thing on the Janela Zone where like she was like, they loved her coming on the screen and stuff. So, and then like the factory people at the Nightmare Factory be like, oh, Mama Nancy, how you doing? Like, it's a whole thing with her, like. And she act like she don't like it, but she likes it. She likes that a lot of people like to mention her. Um, it's a whole thing, and she loves that shit. So when you're connected with people, and it's a cool thing. But also at the same time, like, I feel like on the other side of that, they think they can tell you what to do, or how to feel. Not even say how to feel, but where to go. Oh, you should go. You should go to. You should go. What I've been told. You should go on the ID program, and you should go on Evolve, and you know, even it don't matter how old you are. You can still go there. And I was like, I can't go there. People don't understand. I don't think people understand. Like, when you watch something different, like I said, I got into independent. I got into independent wrestling because I love independent wrestling, because I like DCW, I like Ring of Honor, I like Shimmer. So if my goal was to go to Ring of Honor in New Japan, what makes you think WWE's in my forecast? Like, I like that my friends go over there. I'm happy for them. I ain't gonna never tell you that, like, don't have this dream, but like, but
Well,
also people.
they probably figure that with your connection to Cody, that he'd be able to hook it up for you.
It'd be automatic, right? Yeah. Yeah. No, I've heard that multiple times. I would tell Cody, the only way I would go there, the only true way you could get me there is like, it would be like a 6 month deal or a 3 month deal. Where I only say that because I would have it would be have to be I would have to be like at first I'm coming out with you as current an American Nightmare Bayface fan favorite person, but then also I would want to work a program with you, of course. And if I can't work a program with you, like why should I be there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just me. But
So if you,
I go ahead.
well, I was gonna ask if you could go anywhere right now of the major promotions, where would you want to be?
I would want to be at AEW.
Come on now. You should have known he was going to say that, Nick. You just wanted to hear it. This dude, I swear to God, he needs to give me part of his checks from Tony Khan. The way he's constantly glazing AEW. But
You want me to start? You
no,
want me to
no, I
keep going?
don't. No, I
Okay.
don't. So before we start to wind this down, because we do want to start to get you out of here, Leroy. I want to throw up a few graphics for the upcoming 1FW show at Center Stage, the summer stage show, and kind of let us know a little bit about some of these matches, because I saw some matches announced that might attract fans. You know, talents they know versus talents they don't, obviously. So talk to us a little about the Guns, Billy Austin and Colton versus the Superstars. Who exactly are the Superstars?
All right. So this where it's pronounced the superstars, as they told me multiple times. The superstars are this band, literally a band, and they're like a combination of Guns N' Roses. Currently, they're doing their Ozzy kind of band. They're a band, but they're also a tribute band at the same time. So they're like a Ozzy Osbourne type of uh you know, they wrestle, they rock out. They rock out when they're not wrestling, they're rocking out. And they're doing there like a tribute band. They tribute but even if they're a tribute band, they try to be original. They like the stylings of, like I said, Motley Crue, that whole hair band metal, Ozzy Osbourne type of thing, So they're a great tag team. I've wrestled them and I keep wrestling them multiple times on multiple shows, but they're extremely entertaining. The guy on the far left, my right or your right or whatever. Uh, his name is Tommy Mars. He's the drummer. Nikki 8, he's the singer, and I think I would say the other person, his name is Jimmy Wild. He's the bass of the group, I guess. Yeah, I guess bass, or I don't know what are his other. I guess bass. He has a lot of deep voice, so I guess bass. So they're a band. They're a band tribute wrestlers who like that kind of stylings. I know that was a little long, but yeah.
All right. And then you were talking about a couple of these young ladies earlier, Angelica Risk, Hyena Hera, and Shotzi Blackheart. Triple threat for the women's title.
Yeah, making her debut and stuff. I saw that and I thought it was pretty cool. Like I said before, Hyena Hair is she's a person that always has a bad attitude. Basically, like I always had a bad day. Like, and she watches this, she's gonna know. There's no disrespect. She's basically a bitch. Basically, I'm not calling her one, but she, having a bitchy attitude. Like I'm ready to slap somebody and stuff. So, I'm having a bad day, like I said, and Helica is a spicy quesadilla, fiery personality. She's if if what's her name from GCW? The Cali girl. I can't think of her name.
Vipress.
Vipress. If Vipress had a friend that was a gangster girl type of energy that she was on, that's at Helica Rest. So she's on that gangster type of girl. She's from the West Coast area. She's from New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico. So yeah, they different out there. They crazy out there. So from what I hear.
Yeah. The Latinos are spicy.
Yep. So
And then I saw this match, and I mean, Jesus Christ, Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham.
yeah, this is probably like the second match that they done, outside of Ring of Honor. So it's gonna be fire. I don't know if it's gonna be a pure rule style, but I think it's gonna be regular. You know, it's gonna be a phenomenal match either way. In recent times, I have been getting close to Jay Lethal and become cool with Jay Lethal. So he's been giving me advice and stuff and helping me out. So giving me gems of knowledge. So we got that and other stuff. So and that's not even that's just the master. That's just the master to announce. Like I don't even know what I'm doing. To be honest, I just know I'm beating up somebody.
I saw a few other matches announced, but I figured for the audience that we attract, like those would be the big talking points to try to hook them in, you know?
Yeah. It's yeah. I would say I don't know if it's gonna be on my AEW because it'll be on there at some point. I don't think it's gonna be on there live, but yeah, if you're in the Atlanta area and you're watching this, definitely get your tickets. Definitely tap in to onefwlive.com and get your tickets because one, you want to see me, of course, but you want to see all the people at 1FW, and see why we're one of the best wrestling companies in the nation, in professional wrestling and in independent wrestling. See why we are on AEW, my AEW, why we was the first one. Cause Tony Khan, he knows his wrestling, bro. I've talked to him. He watches a lot of wrestling. Still to this day. He watches Beyond Wrestling and places like that. Like he pays attention. Unlike he doesn't pay nobody. Like we'll say it. He don't do it like Triple H. He don't pay people to watch from a phone in his bedroom. Nah, he be on the plane watching wrestling, and that's why he picks up top tier talent, and they become on AEW. So
yeah.
All right. Well, before we let you go, because been here a minute now. I know you got shit to do. You're East Coast, so it's like 10 o'clock for you now. Want to try and peel the curtain back just a little bit, as much as Leroy will let us. What does Leroy do to relax after a weekend loop of shows? Movie guy, video game guy, music guy. Like, what does Leroy do to just vibe out and chill?
Ladies, man,
aside from jumping into spaces and fucking with people,
So I don't have a video game system right now, but I'm going to get one again because I've been putting money in my wrestling stuff and other stuff. But like, I'm gonna get a video game. I'm definitely gonna get Grand Theft Auto 6 when it does come out. But also, I want to get. I haven't played WWE 2K in a minute, so I want to play that again. I like to play video games, but also I've been on a music tip. I be in the gym a lot, so I listen to a lot of different music. Right now, currently in my playlist that's played a lot is Larry June. Larry June. Carly Bravo put me on a Larry June recently. That and other people. Yeah, so I have an artist just like Larry June. That's the East Coast version. I forget his name right now, but yeah, him, Larry June. I just got into because of Big X the Plug's album. I discovered her Laney. What was it? It was Ella Laney. She's a country artist. She's really good. I listen to her. So, but since I don't have a video game, I just be chilling. I just be listening to music. When I'm not when I'm doing that to help me rewind, I watch a lot of of course I just watch a lot of wrestling, but also I watch a lot of comedy. When I'm not wrestling, I do comedy. I've been stepping back on the stage and stuff. So I write bullet points of my stand up set, and I'm also looking for gems to get better as a stand up comedian. So
Yeah.
uh, so
I got a real question, real quick, because I know that again, you are a wrestler, but you're also part of the IWC. What is your take on? And me and kind of JJ have talked about this, um, with wrestling in general between the major companies has largely been not exciting. What's your take on the major companies in 2026 and wrestling in general in 2026?
I think we're in a transitional period with with a lot of ones. I really believe that get mad at me if you want to, and I'm gonna tell you this. Get mad at me if you want to. On TNA, besides Casey Navarro and Nick Nemeth, the number one person that's driving the ratings for me, and I think it's improved, is AJ Francis. Best thing going on there. Best big man in the business, the best heel, because he pisses you off, and you hate when he tells you. This is recently. I think this is like months ago, but he says he's not wearing. He say he's not wearing. He's not wearing the little drawers, little panties, and I'll be honest. I'm agree with him. I'm. It's not because I'm out of shape or nothing. Even when I do get in shape, I'm not wearing no trunks. The only thing that I'm wearing is shorts. So I think he's one of the people. I think that this is going to. Well, the Fat Walker's going to be mad about this one. We're in a transitional period because AEW's taking off. It's becoming. It's coming. Not only becoming. It is to me. And going forward, y'all see what I'm talking about. The number one wrestling company, the home of professional wrestling. Uh, and you can get mad at me once you can't. I ain't gonna watch no. I ain't gonna watch no Bloodline for. And I love Jacob. Jacob's the homie. And if Zilla comes on there, I'll check out his debut. But that's not my main priority. Number two is there to be number one is AEW. Number three is TNA, and number four is GCW. And under GCW is one FW. And
Jesus.
then MOW and then NWA.
Buddy, people are gonna clip this shit and be like, "Yo,"
Hey,
be like, "Are you
it's
drawing
it's a
drugs?"
hot
I
take.
can't believe you said that on the air. Jesus. Well, I can't disagree with you. Just saying.
It's a hot take. I think it all just comes down to what you like. When it comes to in-ring graps, I'm not going to sit here and dispute that AEW is better than WWE. But 5-hour pay-per-views fucking kill me. That's too much. That's extreme. That should be saved for WrestleMania or All In, in their case. There's no reason why they should be doing 5-hour pay-per-views on a consistent basis. 4-hour, 4.5-hour pay-per-views. That's too much. I'm a guy that gets roped into the stories. WWE does stories better than AEW. AEW is getting better. They've picked up their story game in 2026, but it's still not as compelling to me as WWE's are.
I get it. I get it. I mean, they still got some people over there, but this is just me.
Yeah.
I feel like let's get it out the way. I've what you asked me about the IWC. I'm okay with being the affiliate, but I'm okay with being the villain because everybody tries to make me the villain. So I'm all right with that. Yeah, I like people that you don't like. I like AJ Francis. I like I don't like Darius Carter, but I respect Darius Carter is, besides MJF. I'm not giving that motherfucker credit. Darius Carter, as much as I dislike Darius Carter tactics, he's the best heel in the business right now. MJF is second right now. I don't care what nobody say. Yeah, it's personal. Yeah, I'm being biased. Are you going to fight me? I don't think so. And if you do, you're going to be losing. So,
Man, fuck those
uh,
guys.
you know,
So I'm gonna hit you with something real quick, just so we can, like JJ said, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Uh, so Eric, question we asked all our guests. It's pretty simple. Big night, big match, big day. What are you doing? Are you doing a pre-game meal or a post-game meal? And if you are, what is your meal? Saint.
I don't eat before my matches, so I'm doing a post game meal.
Okay, so you're doing a post-game. All right.
So, I usually try to stick to my meal plan. So whatever I have that week for the meal plan, I lately been going with I've mainly been going with ground turkey or ground beef and some potatoes. Put that in the air fryer. I usually might do a quesadilla. I've been on quesadilla kick lately. You know, I'll fix me a protein banana pudding kind of concoction. You know,
Okay.
and I'll have some ice cream and stuff for it. And especially if I had a big match or I won a title or whatever, I'm doing that. You know. But if I'm really if I'm out and about, if I'm outside, I gotta get some wings or some
Got to get some
pizza.
wings. Come on now.
I gotta slide through one of my wing places. I either go to Trap Wings here in Atlanta, or the Bando, or or maybe I just slide through Magic City and I'll get me some wings. So food is not around, so I go to other places. So
What's your favorite wing sauce?
Oh, I gotta either go. So if I go, it's hot, but it's not too hot. I gotta go buffalo. Gotta go buffalo or Chipotle, and then I gotta go with teriyaki. And then if I'm feeling real basic and I just want a barbecue, I'll get barbecue. So
All right, there you
All
go.
right. Well, Leroy, thank you so much for all of your time today.
can I
Go
say
ahead
one
and
thing?
yeah.
I just want to get this out the way because I want people to know this. Like I said, being a villain is okay. I'm okay with that. I like people that you don't like. Um, One of my other people that, if you haven't checked out, that I recommend you to check out is Trip Jordy. He's a great baby face. That you should check out. Trevor Outlaw is a champion of freelance wrestling. He's still one of my favorite guys from the Nightmare Factory. Also one of the best heels uh besides AJ and Darius Carter is Joe Alonzo. MVP gave him credit not too long ago on his podcast, but I've been singing the praises of this dude because he gets it. He's not only just a good wrestler, he knows how to go promo. Like I would put him in there. I'm not gonna put him in the top tier promos of people, but he's up there of like a lot of people better than a lot of people in the scene in wrestling right now. Like if you give him like 5 to 10 minutes, he can knock it out the park. Like he gets heat, he gets hated. And I'm talking about true hatred. Now he could definitely out talk Dom Mysterio. So if you put him on WWE TV against him, he's getting cooked, and all the fair walkers would be mad because he would flame him. I already know it. So
I like that.
He would because I know Joe Alonzo and the funny thing is we used to be beefing, and we later on when he was on hard times and I was on hard times, we just started talking it out and like hashed out our stuff. But like had multiple times where he pissed me off. he pissed off women's wrestling thing when he was like going at this one girl in Texas. Like, I don't know, he just knows how to piss people off. He has a punchable face. He knows he has a punchable face. That's the bad part. He knows he can talk. He has a punchable face, and like people be like, "Oh, Dom Mysterio is the best here in wrestling." No, you ain't seen Joe Alonzo eat his lunch and then look at him and say, "What you gonna do?" So that's all I gotta say. Check out him. He's on the fourth rope and stuff like that. So
There you go.
yeah.
Okay. Well, like I was saying, thank you so much, Leroy, for joining us. Why don't you go ahead and hit everyone with your socials real quick so they know where to find you and follow you?
All right. You can follow me. You can follow me on Twitter, that Nasty Leroy. You can follow me on Instagram, official Nasty Leroy 215. You can follow me on TikTok, official Nasty Leroy 215. Also, my merch will be on both of them. If they're not on my Twitter site, I'm gonna probably put it on it after this. But my brainbustertees.com/Nasty Leroy, foyerwear.com, where you can get the Nasty Hottie jackets and the Nasty Team jackets. You know, it's you can get the Barbero style jackets of those because I just like those jackets, and so I created my own one. You got the Nasty Hottie jerseys. I got a new shirt called Nasty by Nature. I got another shirt coming out, Too Nasty for TV. It's my new Jack inspired one, and the new Roy kind of thing. And then of course my Nasty Team merch and stuff like that. You can get on there. If you're in the Atlanta area, or if I decide to go outside of the Atlanta area and other places, you can see me at my merch stand, have my stuff, doing my thing, come talk to me. I talk back. Not only I talk back, I will have a conversation with you. I ain't gonna act like I'm too good. Even that y'all be liking people like Charles Mason, and he be like choking y'all, and which was weird. It's if you be liking guys like Atticus Cougar and all that stuff, but y'all,
Leroy, don't do it. Don't do it.
So,
I feel
but
like he's taking shots at me right now,
No, not just you. I'm talking about other people. Like it just be like it we weird. Y'all be liking rat bastards, but I don't understand. Y'all like rat bastards, yeah. Y'all like MJF, so yeah, I can't tell y'all who they like. But it's fun. It's funny how like y'all come up to me and be like, "Oh, this is so good at the character and stuff." I'm not a character. I just be talking my talk. It's like they be like, "Oh yeah," they be like, "Friends be like, oh yeah, MJF is in character. Oh, he doesn't really think like that. No, that he really be like that." I was around him in the locker room, and he really is like that. So, but anyway, you can come to my merch and stuff. You can come to my stuff and get a Nasty Leroy t-shirt at 1FW. Come check me out at 1FW live events all over the Georgia area. We're in Watkesville on Monday. We're gonna be in Gainesville, the home of AJ Styles. We're all over the place. Check out 1FW live events. I mean, 1FW.com for live events. Check out all my socials for where I'm gonna be at, comedy wise and pro wrestling wise. So don't be a rat bastard and check out my merch.
Don't be a rat bastard.
All I gotta say is I might have to get that Nasty by Nature shirt.
Yeah, it's cool.
I
It's
might have
cool.
to cop that.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it a
fine.
play off of the Naughty logo?
Naughty sort of.
Nature? Okay.
Sort of. It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's a parody. It's a parody of the rap group, but it's also it's a parody of other stuff too. It's a little bit of both.
Because I have a shirt that says Natty by Nature, like Natalia Natty.
Yeah.
And it has a hockey stick instead of the baseball bat.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but also Naughty by Nature too. It's also a player for Naughty by Nature too.
Yeah.
So.
All right, cool. Well, again, thank you so much, Leroy, for being here. Thank you to the almost 100 of y'all that are watching right now. We greatly appreciate it. Hopefully that's some new Nasty fans. Hopefully that's some new people going to be coming out to 1FW. When is the summer stage show again?
Oh, July the 17th, we'll be at Center Stage. Um, for those who are in the area, shoot, matter of fact, if you just say, you know what, I'm somewhere else, I'm in the Southeast, I want to travel. If you're not in the South, and you want to travel, I'm telling you, if you miss this event, you'll be kicking yourself because I have a feeling there's lots of surprises that you never know who popped up. Last time we had Brody King pop up there, and he was hitting the hole in the locker room. I didn't even know he was there until he came out, so walked out and stuff. So you never know who might be there. You never know what might happen. I know I'm gonna beat up somebody because I won a battle royal last time, so just see what happens. Um, so yeah, it's. I'll say this before I leave. It's a thing that I've been on a lot of cards, and I'm so happy that 1FW has grown and to like we got like our own. I feel like we got our own like our own territory like back in the day kind of shit like like our own Mid South, our own Crockett, our own kind of like national TV kind of thing because we're here local. We actually have our own local TV show. We on Peachtree Sports Network, and so if you turn to like the channel, it comes on and stuff. So when you don't have my AW and stuff, so I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, unlike anything else that you go to, I really believe that you'll have a great time. You got characters like the superstars, you got the women's division, you got myself, you got QT, you got Grillo and his group, you got Brody. He's probably like one of the most charismatic people besides me. And the kids fucking love him, bro. Like they go crazy. Like he's the top guy. I'm not gonna compare him to Cena because I'm not comparing people to Cena. But he's the top guy. They go crazy for him. So yeah, check out us on 1W. We just put out an episode right recently. Like I said, a cage match with and Remy Reed and Hyena Hair and Helica Riss, and then we also got Rosario Grillo. Was that Rosario Dawson? Rosario Grillo. uh, on our latest episode. And yeah, so stay tuned. So
And make sure you stay tuned here for the Simply Reliable Studios as we will be back on Saturday with our regular shenanigans. For Nick, for Nasty Leroy, I am the Renegade JJ Williams. Thanking y'all for joining us, and we will catch you guys next time.
Later, y'all.